Hey, and welcome. I'm here in my bedroom, and I almost forgot about doing the full moon video for this month, but welcome, wild women, wise men, and witches. And so let's just talk a little bit about this exciting full moon coming up. It is going to be the full moon in Virgo, and we also have it adjacent a lunar eclipse, which is about the energies of like, first, we know that Virgos are very practical, they're very analytical, they can be very logical, they're very earthy. So um, all those energies will come into play for this full moon. So, for instance, if you gather some moon water for the full moon in Virgo, you might want to use that water later for the purposes of getting clarity on a situation. Um, when you need to connect to the earth as a woman, because Virgo is a great sign for that. So just keep those things in mind, and also keep in mind how powerful an eclipse can be. I hear a lot of warnings that, oh, you should not work with eclipses, it's just too much of chaotic energy. But in truth, eclipses are part of the natural cycle, and and I got my windows open. And so, in that regard, I think there's a little bit too much taboo put on them. Life is chaotic, period. It doesn't really matter if it's a lunar eclipse. But of course, in ancient times, we still have that kind of ancestral carryover of, like, what the hell happened to the moon, or what the hell happened to the sun during an eclipse, with the primitive peoples who maybe did not understand. So, with that in mind, I want to encourage you, if you're wanting to work with the lunar eclipse along with this Virgo blood moon, which means the women's mysteries are a great energy for this time, then think about what an eclipse actually does. It's an eclipse. Something is eclipsed, something is blocked, something is shadowed, depending on how full the eclipse is. Something is shielded or protected. So all of those energies can also come into play with any full moon rite that you might choose to do with this full moon in Virgo. So just keep that in mind. I'm probably not going to get any more into it than that, other than to say that wild women, wise women, and witches will be having a full moon social on the 13th, and that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to participate in that, please email wildwomen, so I can make sure that you get the Zoom information. And they're usually a short ride. All you'll really need is some kind of votive or candle, because we usually empower the candle with the energies of the full moon, and then usually have a very specific target. And since this is a blood moon, since it's in Virgo, there is an extreme amount of exalted feminine energy. So for this social, we do plan on doing a small candle rite where we call back our power, where we cultivate our power to make radical change in our society so that women can achieve a status of equilibrium with their male counterparts. And just as a final reminder, Wild Women, Wise Women, and Witches, which is now on Blue Sky, is open. As far as the page goes, it's open to anybody. But as far as the full moon goes, our full moon socials are women only, but that's all women. So it's inclusive in that regard, but also exclusive to the feminine divine energies that we want to explore in sacred space. So I hope you can join us. If you'd like to know more information, you can DM me or hit the email address up. But happy full moon in Virgo. It's a great feminine energy time, a great time to reclaim your power, call your power back to you. And like I said, because Virgos are so logical and so practical, and always seeking what is truth in a matter, if you do collect water, just remember that you can use it for later rituals in your chalice, which involve clarity or even feminine empowerment. So I hope everyone has a beautiful full moon, and I hope to see some of you at the full moon social.